I've got the hottest hot weather fragrances, the most powerful that work well in the warm weather. Strong summer scents, or of course you can also wear them in the spring. I've got 6 originals and 6 clones or dupes of other fragrances. And we cover the gamut of ultra cheapies all the way up to some that are around the $100 mark or so. So this is going to be a great video to have you smelling awesome for a long time, in many cases with powerful projection and performance. A lot of alliteration in the intro of this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, and give the video a powerful, super hot click on the like button, that is. If you like the video, let's go ahead and dive in. We'll start with the original fragrances first, then we'll move into the clones. And I've got a good mix of like some stuff that is pretty new and then some stuff that's been out for a few years. So we'll begin with this one right here. I think this is the ultimate summer spring date night fragrance. This stuff is phenomenal, from a house that has kind of become definitely one of my favorite designer houses. I'm talking about Jean-Paul Gaultier. This, of course, is Les Beaux Les Parfums. And so this is a fragrance that's got a pineapple, coconut, tropical, quite sweet foreground. But you've also got some iris in here. You've got some musk and some woods in here. And so whereas the original Le Beau was fantastic, you know, you had the coconut and the tonka bean, maybe pineapple, I don't remember if the original had it, but this one is similar, but it is denser, it's weightier, and that woods in the base almost gives it kind of a leathery feel. And that iris actually is noticeable. It's kind of like that fruity style of iris, if that makes sense to you. Really good stuff, very long lasting. This is easily an 8 to 10 hour fragrance, could be longer than that, but this is, you know, a sweet, freshy one that actually really lasts. So anyway, this is Les Beaux Les Parfums. Next up, this one's been out for years, and man, it's such a great fragrance. I think a lot of people have it in their collection, and you may not realize this is a great performing fragrance. This is, again, easily in that 10-hour range. One of the most versatile scents I own, and I absolutely love it. I just have so many things. I don't wear it as much as I would like to. I'm talking about Versace Dylan Blue. And so this is kind of the quintessential blue fragrance, right? I mean, you've got your Bleu de Chanel, you've got your Sauvage, you've got your Yves Saint Laurent Y, and actually a bunch of others that have joined the ranks just recently. But this one is unique in that, number one, it is cheap. Number two, it's kind of a blend of some of those other fragrances. It's got a little extra sweetness like Y. It's got powerful Ambroxan, kind of like Sauvage. It's got actually a good bit of similarity to Bleu de Chanel, even with a touch of incense, kind of like Bleu de Chanel does. It's so good, so versatile. It smells amazing. Major compliment beast. Again, Bleu de Chanel by Versace. Next, we'll go with a fragrance that I have just sung the praises of for months since I picked it up. This stuff is so cool, so unique. I'm talking about Kenzo Homme EDP, the 2022 edition. This little translucent bamboo bottle is basically a blue fragrance, kind of like Dylan Blue actually, with a powerful, realistic leather note, and this is nuclear strong. It's, you spray it on, you'll still smell it the next day whenever you wake up. If you dare spray it on clothes, like a jacket, or if it gets on your hat, or a shirt that you put back in the closet, it will stay on for weeks and weeks. It is so powerful, and it just stays even on your skin forever. Really good stuff. Probably not for everybody because it's pretty unique. Kenzo Homme EDP 2022. So that was 3 designers. We're now going to shift gears into 3 niche, but these are for the most part what I would consider affordable niche. First one we'll go with, you know, you can't go wrong with Mancera. Great niche brand with great prices, usually under $100 for these big 120 ml bottles. This is Intense Cedrat Boisé. And you could really go with the original as well. They're both fantastic. I do prefer Intense. It's a fruity, citrus, woody fragrance. This one actually has They both have, the original and the intense, a little leather. This one has a touch of oud as well. So it's just this powerful, bright, happy, somewhat sweet fruitiness with a little citrus zing in there in particular, and then some woods and leather in the base. It's an Aventus style fragrance, although I do prefer this DNA to Aventus just because I have so many things that smell like Aventus and I've smelled that way for so many years. This stuff is awesome. Cedrat Boisé or the Intense, pick your poison. Really great stuff and very long lasting, but if you're like me, you will go nose blind and you'll forget you're wearing it, and then 10 hours later, someone tells you how amazing you smell. One of the few fragrances I've gotten a cussing compliment from. At a pharmacy counter, I walked up and the pharmacy guy said, "What the F are you wearing?" And so some good reactions with that one right there. Next one, another Mancera. This is one that is kind of lesser known, but it smells amazing. This is Lemon Lime. And it is a lemon fragrance, but it's a sweet kind of candied lemon head fragrance with a lot of aromatics. There is some geranium, there's some woodiness, there's some kind of fresh spiciness. So you do get that powerful citrus with a good bit of sweetness, but then you've got some texture and some pizzazz coming from some of those fresh spicy notes. So really good stuff. Mancera Lemon Lime, just like the one I showed you before. Very affordable for a niche fragrance, usually for the big bottle, like, you know, $80 to $90. And finally, this one is a little more expensive per ml, but you can still usually get a bottle of 50 ml for $100. We're talking about Nishane Hasavat, my favorite spring niche fragrance. It is a citrus, pineapple, blackcurrant, fruity, happy, zingy fragrance, but there is a real green heart to this fragrance, and there is a deep, dark patchouli that makes up the base of this fragrance. I would say this is a patchouli fragrance, but it's a patchouli fragrance with a whole heck of a lot of sweet fruitiness and a real green quality. It's just so good. It's been copied a lot. It's been kind of riffed on a lot, and but I love the original, again, Nishane Hasavat. All right, now we're going to go into some clone fragrances. This first one I'm going to show you, I love this stuff. My wife loves this stuff. My family loves this stuff. I've gotten compliments from people I don't know from this stuff. It's so good, worth the price in my opinion. I'm talking about Armaf Club de Nuit Pré-Chaud 1. This is, of course, a twist on Creed Absolute Aventus. Very similar to Absolute Aventus, so it's that twist on the original Aventus with a little more sweetness. There's a little bit of darkness going on, a little bit of an aromatic flair. But the thing that I love about this one is that there is this caramel pear in the opening that, of course, makes this one more sweet, which appeals to my taste in particular. And this is a powerful 12-hour fragrance. It projects heavily. It leaves a massive scent trail behind you. One of the most pleasant smelling pickups definitely that I've made over the past 6 months. Club de Nuit Pré-Chaud 1. Potentially overhyped because a lot of people have talked about it, but it has to be in a video like this because it is so strong. It is easily 12 to 14 hours, powerful projection, but you've got to take it easy. 3 sprays is all I need. It's unique, but I actually genuinely do like it, but I'll only wear it probably once a month as it warms up here. I'm talking about Lattafa Atlas. Of course, this is an Orto Parisi Megamare dupe, and it's basically the most salty, musky, aromatic citrus fragrance that you'll ever smell. It's like a powerful kind of salty, aquatic fragrance, a very musky fragrance with just enough aromatics and just enough citrus to kind of give you something to ground yourself to. Other than that, it would just be, of course, listen to the lid. Other than that, it would just be a fragrance chemical conundrum that I would probably still like, but you would just think, what am I experiencing right now? But the citrus and aromatics, I think, actually make it appeal to more people than if it were just a nuclear explosion of musk and salty aquatic. It's actually really good stuff, but again, not for everybody. Lattafa Atlas. This next one, I just about guarantee you don't have unless maybe you saw one of my videos and picked it up. That's probably an arrogant thing to say, but if you ever liked Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes, which I did actually used to own, but I got rid of it because on my skin, the performance was abysmal. Even on a couple of my family members, it was awful. It was a 3-hour fragrance, but my favorite pool and beach fragrance. It's an aquatic vanilla fragrance with kind of a sunscreen vibe. I love it. This is Dossier's version, aquatic vanilla. This is the 12+ hour version of Vanilla Vibes. I have gotten so many compliments on this fragrance. It literally smells like the high-end, or I don't know about high-end, but the just amazing smelling suntanning oil that my mom wore whenever I was a little kid. This is kind of what she smelled like. It's basically just vanilla and solar notes. Of course, there is a little bit of an aquatic backbone as well. It smells amazing. If you like sweet vanilla, but you can't wear Mercedes-Benz Club Black when it's 90 degrees outside, this is what you need. And man, Dossier killed it. I have no affiliation with them. I don't even have affiliate links. It's just a great fragrance. So there you have it. Next, we'll go with this one here. Now, this one is in the video not because it's a 12-hour fragrance, but because out of the 4 Roja Parfums Elysium dupes I have, this one is definitely the best performing. This one is FOMO, a Fragheads Asylum. It's quite close to the original as well. I used to have a, I forget what the company is called. There's a company that does very expensive dupes, but they're actually really good. But I'm blanking. They did like 100 different versions of Aventus. They did a very long-lasting version of Elysium, but I gave it away because I didn't like the overdose of vetiver. This one is just basically Elysium, and it'll last you 7 or 8 hours, which from what I understand is even better than the original. You know, this is citrus, blackcurrant, vetiver, woodiness, grassiness, and it's amazing. Anytime, anywhere, spring, summer, perfection. Probably the best performing one you're going to find, and very cheap, 30 bucks or so from fragrancebuy.ca. FOMO, a Fragheads Asylum. Next up, this one's super cool, and one that, again, I think not a lot of people know about, but this is sort of like a blue fragrance, like Dylan Blue style, smashed with like an Invictus Aqua, or Invictus, but I would say Invictus Aqua. So this is probably 70% Invictus, and then like 30% Bleu de Chanel or something like that. I love this stuff. This is Soprano Elite from Dumont. Soprano Elite from Dumont. And the whole Soprano line, similar to the Barouge line or the Bravanzo line, they just last forever and smell amazing. And it smells so good. There's a little bit, it's got kind of the soapy cleanness from like a Bleu de Chanel with just a little bit of a fresh spiciness, and then that wonderful aquatic Invictus bubblegum sweetness. Very good stuff right here. Soprano, and this one is Pure. If I said Elite, I said it wrong. This is Pure. And man, it smells so good. I need to wear this soon. All right, and next up, we will go with this one. I think this is actually number 12. I'm throwing in a bonus, I think anyway. I lost count. But speaking of Dumont Bravanzo, this one is Bravanzo's take on Sospiro Vibrato. And man, this stuff is amazing. If you like green fragrances, this is a green citrus bomb. It's very powerful. It's loud. You know, especially for a citrus-forward fragrance, it's got a lot of projection, and it's easily, you know, an 8 to 10 hour fragrance, which for this type of fragrance, that's really saying something. It's a tart green citrus fragrance with some woodiness. I think there's also some fresh spiciness in here as well, without looking at the notes, but it's really in the style of something like Bulgari Tigar, or even like Louis Vuitton L'Immensity, something like that. But this one is in that family of fragrances. Without question, this one's my favorite because it has more sweetness than those other DNAs that I mentioned. Again, Bravanzo, and this one is Prestige, I believe. No, sorry, Vestige or Vestige from Bravanzo. I think this one's number 13, so I threw in a bonus because this right here is shockingly powerful, and it actually smells pretty amazing, and it will be one of the most useful fragrances you will ever buy, and it's dirt cheap. I'm talking about this little, it's a copy of Molecule 01. It's basically just pure Ambroxan with perfumer's alcohol. It's Myris number, what does that say? 23742. It's the Eau de Parfum. It is powerful. I really got it because I wanted to kind of grow my ability to identify Ambroxan as a note. Is that not the most nerd, fragrance freak, nerdy thing you've ever heard? I love the smell of Ambroxan, but it can show up in different ways. It can show up like ambergris or kind of an amber woods, amber max kind of feel, or it can be more kind of the shower gel, metallic, clean kind of feel. And this stuff smells awesome. And sure enough, having worn this a couple times, I definitely pick out Ambroxan now in fragrances that I wouldn't have picked it out before. But it's so very clean, slightly metallic, fresh, kind of shower jelly. Reminds you a little, just a touch of like kind of the ambergris feel that you get in some Creed fragrances, that kind of thing. So cheap. I think $22, $23. You'll smell amazing. Here's why it's the most useful fragrance you'll ever have. Don't buy eccentric molecules for 150 bucks. Buy this for 23, and you can add it to just about any fragrance that is strong enough to not be overpowered by it, because it is very, very strong. And it will add projection and longevity to, most styles of fragrance. I've never tried it with like oud, but I've got this one. I've also got an ISOE Super, which is a Molecule 02 dupe that I got for like 20 bucks on Amazon from Oak City Beard Company. But I actually definitely like Ambroxan more than ISOE Super. And this is an all year round fragrance. Mix it with all kinds of things, see how it does, or just wear it by itself and you will be surprised how good it smells. And you will get compliments because you'll carry this air, this sort of aura around you of fresh, clean, slightly metallic, zingy shower gel. And really impressive stuff. Myris, whatever that number is here, Ambroxan. So, guys, that has been 13 powerful or long-lasting warm weather, summer, spring fragrances. I'd love to hear a couple of yours down below. Maybe one clone, one designer. What are your top recommendations? I actually could do with some more designer or affordable niche summer fragrances. A lot of the, I prefer sweet, spicy, dark stuff, and so I need to kind of expand my collection of freshies. Let me know, what are the ones that have monster performance, and I will definitely read them and interact with you down below. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to give the absolute most powerful, hottest click to the like button you possibly can. I'll see you on the next video. This is Justin, and you have been watching Sillage Scents.